Hey everyone, I just want to show you how I made my sketch cards. So for something like this, right, this is a custom sketch card. Um, I pretty much, these are handmade with a few things, so I'm going to show you how it is. So this is my design of a sketch card. So I have a sketch card where it's a little bit oversized compared to the standard sketch card. And the reason for that is I have these trim markers that I can actually cut afterwards because I like to paint outside that area. So I'll show you how to make or how to purchase some sketch cards where you can do it yourself. Where the reason for it is it's actually two pieces of postcard. So I'll explain that to you. So at the end of it, when you use Copic or acrylic on it, there's a reason for it is where the ink doesn't bleed through like most sketch cards that you get. Okay, so that's an example. So I'm gonna put that aside. So this is my sketch card. So really, what it is it's actually a postcard, right? So the way I did it was I went to Vistaprint, right? In Canada, it's Vistaprint.ca. In the US, it's Vistaprint.com. And they usually have these discounts where you can, order 75 bucks or something like that. So you can get about a stack of 500 sketch card for about $30-40. So this is what you're looking at. It's not really sketch card. It's actually a postcard. Okay, so let me explain that. So this is a regular 4 by 6 or 4-inch by 6-inch postcard. What I did was I went into my design software. That could be Photoshop, Illustrator, Canvas, whatever you can use, Affinity Designer, and so forth. So what I did was it's actually 3-inch by 3-inch across, and this is 4 inches high, so it's 6 inches in total. Um, the way this works is I made a design that has the back of the card and the front of the card. Okay, so on the front of the card I put these little trim markers. Let's see if you can see. So you can see the trim markers. So this is where, so really what it is, it's about 1/4 of an inch all the way around that you actually cut. So what I do is I cut it down the middle. Then, as you can see, I'm going to put this aside. So this is a 4 by 6 card, like that. So what I do is I design this as a layout, as a PNG, the way the template they provide. Then I uploaded the file. Then what I did with the file is I only had one side printing, and it's uncoated. The key word is uncoated, so there's no coating on it. It's not glossy, it's not. So if you do a glossy print, and on the other side it becomes this filmy off-white color. But if you do uncoated, it actually comes in a white color. So I believe these are 14 point stock, regular card stock, right? So normally what you can do is you can actually have this, cut this in half, and you can actually draw on it. But the problem is the ink will transfer through. So if you want a really good thick card, so what I did here is this example, is I actually cut it down the middle like that with a little guillotine. I'm a little bit off. And all you need is a glue stick, and it comes together. Once that becomes together, now you have these cards where it's pretty solid. So, like that. Then what I would do is I would tape this down, paint on it, draw on it, and cut on, sign in the back, and cut it into shape. Once that cut in the shape, that's what it looks like, right? With all the trim markers and everything else, right? So as you can see, I like the paper because it's white. So the tools you're gonna need, okay, is 4 by 6 cards, uncoated. Again, it's uncoated. One-sided printing, right? You're gonna need some glue stick, some sort of right angle edge, or you can use anything you want. A couple of these clamps that I picked up from the what you call it, hardware store, and some sort of boards or anything at all. In this case, I have these two acrylic pieces that what I do is I'll show you what I do. So in this case here, all you need is, I'm going to put the roller here. So you're going to need one of these too on top. So you do is take, let's see, where's those cards? So these are my 4x6. Put this aside. So it's a bit of a mess. Okay? So all you need is turn it over. So make sure you're in the right, like that. So it's like that. Take your glue stick. So I bought permanent glue stick, I guess, so they don't come apart. You know, it's not like the these are a little bit more expensive, right? So just run the glue stick, right? You don't have to go all the way to the edge. You have to remember that it's only a 1/4 of an inch all the way in between. So put a lot of that on one side. Make sure that's on the other side like that too. Okay. Close off the glue stick. Put that aside. So make sure the card's in the right. It starts to bend, right? As you can see. There you go. Card starts to bend. Make sure you're in the right direction, right? So normally what I do is I take a little piece of tape, so I don't have to hold down this edge. Put tape there, and I'll put a piece of tape right here. So there you go. Put that, align that correctly. Take this, align it correctly. Just push it to the edge, push both cards, and look at this. Right? Just rub it in. Make sure you don't have any glue around the edges. So just clean that off, and you know, make sure your hands are all nice and clean. Take your roller or anything that's flat, and just quickly roll over top. Right? See? So it's 2 cards. Take anything you want, a bunch of books or whatever. In this case, I have 2 pieces of acrylic, and if you have a whole whack of them, you can actually stack them together. Right? Just put them together, put on a clamp, and just leave it overnight. That's pretty much it, right? Then at the end of it, you're gonna end up with a stack of dual-sided sketch card. Like, I'm a little bit off here on the edge, as you can see, right? So you can see the edges and stuff, right? But it wouldn't matter, because what the back is not my main concern. It's actually the front. This is where I would do all my trim, right? So when the card gets trimmed, it's really a 1/4 of an inch or a 1/4 inch. So that's what the card will look like once you're done, right? So that's the card size itself. And that's it. That is how you make your own custom sketch card, right? So you can have a stack of these, or a stack of these ready to go. What I do is I have these mini cutting boards. Let me grab one here, and I would tape that just around the edge, and I would draw on it and so forth. So in this case, as you can see, here we go, right? So you can see the edges and stuff. So I do have a 1/4 of an inch trim compared to, like, so I just updated the card so you can actually see the trim lines right there, right? I have my little blue line that I created myself. It's just a design aesthetic. Usually it will get covered up at the end of it, right? So I have my branding, 1 of 1, you know, little copyright stuff. But really on the other side, there's nothing on it. This is where I would put my glue, right? So at the end of it, you have yourself a really strong dual-sided sketch card, right? And you can put whatever you want. I put a little hologram sticker on there. Draw on it and all the stuff, so it's your own artist card. So you have a stack of it. The only thing with using Vistaprint is you do really need to order in hundreds, so you're gonna end up with a stack of these. But if you're using it for cons and stuff like that, these are the best, right? I like doing it this side, right? But if you don't want to cut, if you bring it to a con, I would recommend you pre-cut the card, right? Just use the guillotine and just cut where the markers are, right? And that's it. Yeah. All right. So enjoy your own homemade sketch cards. right? And the reason for it is make sure the reason why I say there's try not to get any glue around the edges is when you press them together and you stack them together. Sometimes a piece of glue or all that stuff, make sure you clean it off so it doesn't stick to the paper. But in this case, anything that stick to the edge is not a big deal because it will be trim for mine, right? And yeah, let it run overnight. So yeah, that's it. So get some sort of straight edge, glue stick, some sort of roller, something to clamp together, and some knives, and you're done. All right, so that's my tip for a custom sketch card.